welcome back to War Machines. This episode features the last 10 battles in this round of the tournament, which features 20 of the best competitors in this competition. By the start of the next episode, we will be down to the last 40 competitors, combining all three classes. There are some great fights coming to you here tonight, so let's now check out who all is fighting tonight and who all's tournament hopes could be on the line. Leading off this episode, we start in the Robot Wars class, where we have the Flipper of Eruption, who will be taking on the Horizontal Spinner of Hypnodisc. Up second, we have the Vertical Spinner and Wedge of Minion, who will be taking on the Well-Armored Lifter of Storm 2. Fight number 3 features Flipper and Axebot Behemoth, who will be taking on the Full Body Spinner of Ziggo. Fight number 4 features Saw Loser and their Deadly Spinner, who will be taking on Tombstone and their Deadly Spinner. Fight number 5 features Beast 2 and their Flipper, who will be taking on the Drum Spinner of Salad Tosser. Next, we have the Egg Beater of K2 and the Undercutter of Valkyrie. Following that, we have the Lifter and Spinner of Matilda and the Hammer of Noisy Cricket. Next, we have the Flipper battle between Bulldog Breed and TR2. Second to last fight of the night features the Vertical Spinner of Bite Force and the Flipper of Sub-Zero. Finally, we have tonight's main event, which features a rematch from a Rumble last season, where we have the Vertical Spinner of Huge, who will be taking on the Vertical Spinner of Lockjaw. This should be one great episode, 10 great battles that you will not want to miss. Let's now check out some details on our first battle of the night. We're in the Robot Wars class to lead off the night, where we have the 2-seed Eruption taking on the 34-seed Hypnodisc. On the left side, we have Eruption and their Flipper. That Flipper is very powerful. It's got a lot of power to it, like as I already said, and it's quite low to the ground. However, though, those sides are very much vulnerable to Hypnodisc's spinner, so Eruption will probably want to try to end this as quickly as possible and keep their front towards Hypnodisc as much as possible. Hypnodisc, their opponent, the 34 seed, they have a deadly horizontal spinner as they were merciless on in their last battle against Gabriel. While that spinner has a lot of power to it and is very much capable of doing damage, their push power and ground game is a major concern for this bot, especially in a battle like this. Still though, do not count out Hypnodisc, as we've seen the power in that horizontal spinner this season, and we could very well be seeing it tonight. This should be a great battle to lead it off. I cannot wait for it, but let's now check out some highlights from both of these bots' most recent matchup. First up, we have Eruption, who showed off the power in that Flipper and got a reasonably quick knockout against Gripper to advance to this round. How will they fare against Hypnodisc, who just landed shot after shot, just showed no mercy against Gabriel in this battle to advance to the next round and prove that they are very much worthy of a wild card in this competition. How will they fare against the 2 seed? Let's now find out. Here we go, here comes Eruption approaching a little cautiously, and Hypnodisc is already flipped over. Luckily, Hypnodisc does have a self-righting mechanism, but they don't appear to be using it. Taking a hit from the floor flipper. Take multiple flips in the air, but Hypnodisc lands right side up and Eruption's underneath them. Where's that Flipper on Eruption? Wonder if Eruption's trying to lead them towards the rails, maybe flip Hypnodisc out of the arena, as they probably want to end this as quickly as possible. As Eruption continuing to keep that front towards them and lands a flip, sending Hypnodisc up in the air. Proof right there that Eruption's Flipper is not broken as of now. Another flip by Eruption. Near opportunity right there, as they almost got Hypnodisc against the rails, almost got Hypnodisc in possession to flip him out of the arena. How well is Eruption holding up the power in that spinner on Hypnodisc, as Hypnodisc doesn't really seem to be doing much damage in this one. Another big flip that sends Hypnodisc flying. excellent work by Eruption here. Keep that front towards them. Here, there's another flip by Eruption. Hypnodisc up against the rails, and tossing them out of the arena is Eruption. And Eruption moves on. The 2 seed came in with like an excellent strategy. They performed it to perfection in this one. And came in, kept that front towards Hypnodisc to get that flipper underneath them, expose the ground game problems that Hypnodisc has. But then, of course, though, Eruption trying to lead them towards the arena walls didn't work at first, so they ended up flipping them up in the air, try to break Hypnodisc here. Now, as we saw some excellent flips from Eruption. Now, as this was a near opportunity, at least. But then Hypnodisc managing to get away, managing to avoid the arena rails for a while. Excellent job on their part, as well. This was an excellent battle. And then it was right here when Eruption eventually managed to get Hypnodisc in position, and then clean flipped them out of the arena in order to win this battle and advance to the next round. We go to the DSL class for our next battle, where we have the 3 seed Minion and the 19 seed Storm 2. First bot I'm going to talk about is Minion, who is the 3rd highest seed in this class, with their vertical spinner and wedge. Even though we've only seen the vertical spinner so far, that has been very effective so far. Gotta comment on their weaponry, as they got a variety of it, and they've been using it very well so far in the competition. But then those 2 vulnerable sides, where those wheels are probably what their opponents are going to want to be targeting. Could we be seeing the wedge in action for potentially the first time tonight? We'll have to find out, as their opponent is Storm 2, the 19 seed and their lifter. This bot is very low to the ground, well armored, but however though, that lifter is not as effective. So this will probably be a pushing battle for Storm 2, try to get that advantage. If they can accomplish that, they might very well win this battle and cause an upset. Either way, this should be a good one. I cannot wait for it. Let's check out some highlights once again. First up, we have Minion, who just took it to Firestorm and eventually punted them out of the arena, but there were some concerns at the beginning of this battle after they got flipped, and that self-righting mechanism did not help them self-right. But their opponent is Storm 2 here, where Storm 2 used their push power and ground game to their advantage and managed to take out El Diablo to advance to this round. Could the concerns of Minion's self-righter cost them in this one? Let's find out. Here we go, Storm 2 charging out of the gate here, trying to push Minion around. Minion leading with that vertical spinner. They get flipped early, but the self-righter helps himself right here. It's like Minion did something to help there. Now as Minion can now self-right properly. That's a good thing here for them. But then Storm 2 charging right into that spinner. They seem to be unaffected by it, but that still could be something to watch. Storm 2 trying to get an edge on Minion here. Try to get to the sides, try to push them around. But Minion is not making that easy here. Another big charge here. But now Minion getting a bunch of jabs in with that vertical spinner. How much damage are they doing? So far, it seems to be minimal. But we've only been in this fight for a little less than a minute. So there still could be something to watch. We saw Storm 2 try to use that lifter, but it's ineffective here, but they're flipped over now. Minion coming in with that vertical spinner, dishing out some major damage to the top. This is what Minion wanted. Storm 2 is less effective upside down. Oh no, they don't have the ground game advantage, but now they're back up. Some big time points for Minion there. There are several great shots with that vertical spinner. Now, Storm 2 seems to be holding up to the damage very well here, but we're about halfway through this battle now. I'd say Minion's got the lead, but not by much, as Storm 2 is still able to push them around, push Minion around, and give them some trouble. Here comes Storm 2, continuing to charge like crazy here, acting like the shots from that spinner hasn't affected them, but what about that? A side panel just came off of Storm 2. 3 of their wheels are now exposed, so Storm 2's going to have to try to keep Minion away. They manage to flip Minion, but Minion easily self-rights once again. Storm 2 opens up the pit, but now here comes Minion once again. Storm 2 trying to land a few pushes. I think they need to avoid that vertical spinner as much as possible. But Minion almost sent down the pit, but now they flip Storm 2 again. And look at their control board. Their control board might be in trouble here. Here's Storm 2. Could they... Another side panel just came off. Storm 2 might be at the mercy of Minion. Another big charge. Minion, looking to get that finishing shot, takes off 2 wheels and destroys the control board of Storm 2. And the 3-seed advances. What a battle this was. This was relatively even at first. The big concern in this battle was Minion's self-righter not assisting them in this one, but we got to see it in action, and we got to see it work a few times, which is a good thing. But then this moment right here was when things started to get bad. Well, not completely. When the first big bunch of points for Minion came into place. Flip Storm 2. Storm 2's not as effective upside down, but luckily Storm 2 was able to right themselves and continue to push Minion around, try and get some aggression and control points like right there. Okay. But then their luck did not last very long here. Took off a side panel right there. And then it wasn't long following that when Minion started dishing out some more damage. Now it's right over here, flipping Storm 2, damaging the control board for the first time, and where Storm 2 wasn't able to fully be able to push Minion around as easily, but Storm 2 was just hanging in there at this moment in the battle. Now it's taking off another side panel right there, leaving both sides, all 6 wheels exposed. And it was this moment right here where Minion finished off Storm 2 to win in advance. We remain in the DSL class for our next battle, where we have the 12-seed Behemoth and the 28-seed Ziggo. On the left side, we got Behemoth and their Flipper and Axe. This weaponry is very effective as it has helped them win multiple fights in this competition. However though, their armor is relatively delicate, so that could be a problem against a spinnerbot like their opponent. Their opponent is Ziggo, a wildcard recipient and the 28th seed, and their full body spinner. This full body spinner is very powerful. It caused a lot of destruction in what little of a first round battle we had against in their first round upset. But of course their big problem is their own stability. They do have a self-righting mechanism in case if they do get flipped over, but that's still very much something that Behemoth is going to try to take advantage of in this one. I expect Ziggo's probably going to have a hard time with the front of Behemoth, but you never know what could happen in a battle like this. Lots of stuff for both bots to watch out for in this one. 2 bots are about to enter the arena, only one of them can advance. Let's now check out some highlights from both of these bots' most recent matchup. First up we have Behemoth, who managed to land lift after lift, taking out Sunowayachi in a devastating knockout. Their opponent is Ziggo, who provided what was the first upset of the tournament this season, taking out the 5-seed Chaos 2 in less than a minute. Here we go, here comes Behemoth charging at Ziggo here, and Ziggo taking a lift from Behemoth, but Behemoth's got to be careful, taking a shot to the sides and they lose a side panel. Well, already Behemoth is taking damage from that full body spinner. How powerful is the weapon on Ziggo? Here comes Behemoth missing a lift there. That could be costly here in a battle like this against such a big spinner. But now, Behemoth continuing to send Ziggo out of control. Another big lift, giving Ziggo some major airtime in this one. Excellent stuff from Behemoth despite the damage they've taken to start off this battle. Ziggo, lots of uncontrolled movement, but it is in the rulebook that is allowed. And the other side panel's off on Behemoth. In one single shot, they are now almost exposed on both sides. Behemoth's now gotta be careful. Their defenses are down right now. But now Behemoth continuing to try to keep the pressure going. And now sending Ziggo out of control once again. Some excellent control from Behemoth. Close battle this is so far. We're more than a minute into this battle. I'd probably say Behemoth has the lead as of right now with the judging criteria. Based off of their control and aggression, probably not by much. But now Ziggo landing some shots, and off comes the front of Behemoth. Behemoth has an axe, but they have no lifter here. That could make self-righting problematic as we are seeing right now. Behemoth trying to self-right here. They do have some side stream X, but they don't seem to be active. Now Ziggo coming on the attack, landing more big shots. Behemoth, their control board is down, and the 28 seed and the wild card advances for the second time. This fight lasted a lot longer than Ziggo's last battle did, but they sure did pack a punch in this one, hitting the sides of Behemoth many times. But then of course Behemoth had a lot more control and aggression in this battle, constantly flipping Ziggo around, but then that point left Behemoth exposed on both sides. Even though Behemoth continued on the attack, it wasn't long before Behemoth lost their entire front, preventing them from being able to lift, preventing them from being able to flip Ziggo. Oh, even though they continued to cause trouble, Behemoth was eventually on their side, leaving them vulnerable to attacks, and Ziggo finished them off to advance to the next round. We go to the Battlebots and Bugglebots class for the first time, where we have two 45+ seeds. We have Saw Loser and Tombstone. On the left side, we have Saw Loser and their vertical spinner and lifter. This weaponry is very effective, as that has helped them take out their first blast opponent and manage to put up a heck of a fight in their opening round matchup where they came out with a wild card. However though, their big weakness are those exposed wheels, which I imagine are what Tombstone, who is also a wild card recipient, will be trying to target. On the other side, we got the 46 seed Tombstone and their horizontal spinner. That horizontal spinner is very powerful. It caused a lot of damage in their last battle against Endgame, and we could be seeing that happen tonight. However though, that horizontal spinner proved last season and in their opening round matchup to be relatively delicate, so that could be something to watch in this one. Here we go, we got two wildcard recipients proving that they have what it takes to win it all, who managed to win their last matchup. But before we get to this awesome face-off, let's check out some highlights once again. First up, we have Saw Loser, who managed to pull off an upset, taking out the third place spot, Ice Wave, and their horizontal spinner in what may have been controversial to a lot of people. Then their opponent is Tombstone, where despite having one wheel eventually in this battle, they proved that one wheel, they are still a big threat and managed to take out Endgame and their control board to win that battle. Here we go, here comes Saw Loser, charging at Tombstone with a weapon-on-weapon shot. I think Saw Loser is going to try to break the weapon on Tombstone as much as possible, but taking a few hits to the backside is Saw Loser, and a few shots to the sides there. Saw Loser's got to be careful about that horizontal spinner, as that thing is a menace. It's something to watch out for in this one. Saw Loser opens up the pit, going to try to push Tombstone down it, as Tombstone does not have the best pushing power here. Saw Loser even trying to go for a wheel, maybe. Tombstone did prove in their last matchup, though, that even with one wheel, Tombstone is still a major threat, as they managed to win it even with one tire. We'll see more weapon-on-weapon action between those two bots. It's hard to tell who is winning these exchanges. I do see a few pieces across the arena. It looks like part of Saw Loser, but who can tell exactly? More weapon-on-weapon action, more bits and pieces flying. Looks like pieces of Saw Loser's weapon. That could be something to watch in this one, as Saw Loser is taking some damage. They might need to win this battle as quickly as possible and potentially by knockout, knowing damage is the biggest category in the judging criteria of this season. A wheel comes off a Saw Loser. Tombstone managing to get to those sides once again, do some damage. Saw Loser better get away from that pit. And get away from that spinner on Tombstone. Oh no, Tombstone hits Saw Loser again. Saw Loser seems to be having drive problems. That's not good here. Despite having 3 wheels right on the edge, get away from their Saw Loser, but nope, Saw Loser down the pit of oblivion. The 46th seed advances. Gotta say, this is kind of had a different outcome than what I was expecting to see. As we saw Saw Loser getting some great lifts at the beginning of this battle. We saw some epic weapon-on-weapon action here. But eventually, we saw who was taking more damage between the 2 bots. Lots of weapon-on-weapon action right here, right there. And right here is where we saw Tombstone dishing out some major damage to the weapon of Saw Losers. We saw bits and pieces of it just flying off after some of these hits. Just proof of how powerful Tombstone's horizontal spinner is in War Machines, even if it falls off relatively easily. But that was right here where Saw Loser managed to lose a wheel, and they were not the same ever since that happened. Saw Loser seemed to be having drive issues or something like that, and eventually they were hit down the pit of oblivion, and Tombstone will advance to the top 16. We go back to the Robot Wars class for our next battle, where we have Beast 2 and Salad Tosser. First up, we have the 42 seed Beast 2 in their flipper. That flipper is quite effective. Low to the ground, got a lot of power to it, as they've given both of their first 2 opponents quite a bit of air time. However though, this bot does have less armor to it. However though, they were able to hold up quite well to Scorpion's spinner, but can they hold up to Salad Tosser's 10 seed in their drum spinner? Salad Tosser's drum spinner is a frightening weapon. It caused some major damage to Tilly EWE3 along with their first round opponents. However though, those gyroscopic forces could be a major problem for them in a battle like this, and it could be something that Beast 2 might be trying to take advantage of. Can Beast 2 take out another big spinner? Or will Salad Tosser send him out of the arena in bits? Either way, I cannot wait for this one, but let's check out highlights from both bots' first round matchup. First up, we have Beast 2, who managed to land flip after flip and managed to win against Scorpion in a unanimous judge's decision to advance. How will they fare against Salad Tosser, who ripped apart Tilly EWE3 in the opening round matchup and ripped up suicidal tendencies in this matchup, thanks to that powerful drum spinner in order to advance to this round. This will be a good one. Let's get to it. Here we go. Here comes that drum spinner on Salad Tosser, getting up to full speed. Salad Tosser looking to approach Beast 2 as cautiously as possible, landing a flip as Beast 2. Ooh, there. Beast 2 coming in with that flipper, or Salad Tosser having trouble with that front on Beast 2 here. Now Salad Tosser getting caught up very easily. They gotta try to outmaneuver Beast 2, get to those sides, but that could be hard to do thanks to those gyroscopic forces. Salad Tosser taking a few more big flips from Beast 2. Beast 2 controlling this fight so far. They are taking it to the 10 seed right now. Oh, Beast 2 took out a big spinner in their opening round matchup. Could Salad Tosser's run beyond the line here? Beast 2 seems to be stuck in the spike trap here. But now Beast 2's free and they land a few flips. Salad Tosser's in the corner at the mercy of Beast 2 and their flipper. No mercy being shown from Beast 2 so far. They are not giving Salad Tosser a chance to dish out some damage. Salad Tosser on the run, getting that spinner up to speed here. But now Beast 2 takes a shot from the floor flipper. Salad Tosser sees this as an opportunity, landing some hits to the sides. But Beast 2 turns that flipper towards them and lands a flip. Halfway through this battle here, Beast 2's definitely got the lead so far. But now Salad Tosser's underneath Beast 2. Could the fight be turning here? as Salatosser's now landing some major shots with that drum spitter, doing some damage to the underside of Beast 2 here. Beast 2 doesn't seem to be very much affected by it right now, but who knows how long that will last in this one. Now it's Beast 2 on top of Salatosser here, but the fight may be turning right now. We have a little more than a minute right now, and Beast 2 is now the one in a major situation. Salatosser nearly sending Beast 2 out of the arena there, and now at the backside, now chewing up the underside once again. How much damage are they doing to Beast here? Less than a minute to go. I'd probably say Beast 2 has the lead, but not by much. Just Beast 2 now has a breathing moment, getting a few more flips in on Salatosser. They have them in the corner once again. And now Salatosser on the run, continuing to get that weapon up to full speed. Where's Beast 2? Here they come. Salatosser trying to get to the sides, and they're at the sides of Beast once again, but takes another flip. But now Beast 2, who on top of Salatosser, and Salatosser landing more shots, getting Beast 2 in the corner. Less than 15 seconds to go in this one. Another flip from Beast 2. Another big shot. More hits being landed, and a wheel went flying off in the last 10 seconds. That's some last minute damage that could be key in a judge's decision like this one. So these battles are judged based off of Battlebot's 7-point scale they used in 2019, where the bot can get up to 3 points for damage, up to 2 points for aggression, and 2 points for control. This is going to be a close one. We saw lots of aggression and control from Beast 2 starting off in this battle, as Salatosser just couldn't get anything going to start this battle off. As Beast 2 was just landing flip after flip, just not allowing Salatosser to get an effective shot in with that drum spinner. Now it's right here managing to get Salatosser in the corner. These are some big time points Beast 2 is receiving during this point in the battle. But then the tables turned as Salatosser found an opening, found an opportunity, just went to work, continued to chew up the underside and the sides of Beast 2 here, giving them a lot of trouble in this one. Just continuing to hit them from the backside, from the front, and so on. This area right here, 10 seconds to go, was a key point of damage that may have completely turned the tables on this one. Shot a wheel off on Beast 2, but still, let's figure out what the judges had to say. The votes are in, and it was unanimous. The winner is Salatosser. That was a close one. Lots of opportunities from both bots. Great showing from both of them. Salatosser will move on to the next round. Who do we got fighting next? Should be another epic one. We go back to the Battlebots and Bugglebots class, where we have the 7th seed K2 and the 26th seed Valkyrie. This should be a good one. K2 on the left side has it with their Egg Beater. The Egg Beater has proven to be a very powerful spinner, and the bot that was awarded 4th place last season is surely not one to screw around with. However, though, they do have gyroscopic issues, just like what Salatosser has in their last, and that we saw in the last battle. Still, though, K2 is still a major threat. That spinner is very much capable of doing damage. Their opponent is Valkyrie, the 36th seed and an undercutter. That horizontal spinner is very powerful, but however, it is delicate, which could be something to watch in this one. Stability could be another potential problem that Valkyrie will want to watch out for and try to keep to a minimum. This should be a good one, great one between the 7 and the 26th seed. I can't wait for it. Let's now check out highlights from both of these bots' last matchup before we get to it. First up, we have K2, who used that destructive Egg Beater to make mincemeat out of Sir Lancerfrog and advance with a relatively easy victory. First up, we have Valkyrie, who got a tough draw with mini spinning, a rematch from last season, but they ended up winning the slugfest, dealt out more damage, and won the battle by a unanimous judges' decision to advance to this round. Here comes K2 and Valkyrie, both getting their weapons up to speed. Valkyrie appeared to win that weapon-on-weapon exchange. More weapon-on-weapon shots here, majority of them being won by Valkyrie. But now K2, we got a little bit of a stalemate. Valkyrie seems to be winning the push battle here. That horizontal spinner might be underneath K2, potentially doing some damage. And now K2 gyroing up in the air. That's not what they want here. Now Valkyrie coming at that spinner, and K2 flips them over. This is not what Valkyrie wants. Is K2 now landing shot after shot on that horizontal spinner. And off comes, looks like a quarter or a third of the spinner. Valkyrie is now off balance. And K2 looking to go to work, continue to do more work on Valkyrie, charging them into the rails here. K2's got Valkyrie pinned. Valkyrie's got to get out of there somehow. Oh, now it's K2 continuing, landing shot after shot with that spinner. Or just not giving Valkyrie a chance. It's hit after hit, more bits of that horizontal spinner is coming off. Valkyrie, looks like they lost a wheel as well. Valkyrie might be in trouble right now. Looks like they got drive on just one side. They got not much of their horizontal spinner left. And K2's running like they haven't taken a single bit of damage yet. Another big hit that knocks off another piece of Valkyrie's weapon. K2 just showing the power in that egg beater. Valkyrie is off balance like crazy. This is not good. Valkyrie is not in a good place. K2's continuing to knock pieces off. No mercy being shown from K2 in this one. We got a little more than a minute to go. K2 seems to be highly dominating this one. Valkyrie takes off another piece of Valkyrie's spinner is taken off. Valkyrie is not moving in the corner. K2 is just hanging back, waiting for a countdown. The countdown has now begun on Valkyrie. It is looking like K2 is going to win this one by a knockout. K2 doing a little victory dance because they are advancing to the next round. Excellent battle. Oh, what a win for K2. What a way to make a statement in the competition. The 4th place recipient from last season managed to put on a major show in this one. They might have had some issues with both gyro forces and Valkyrie spinner early, but luckily they managed to start getting things going, like right here. Started getting in some major shots with that egg beater. And it wasn't long until they started going to work on that spinner. Took off a major chunk of it right there, and Valkyrie was just never the same from that point. Valkyrie was just constantly off balance. K2 took advantage of it, and they just continued to get Valkyrie at their mercy. Just showed none of it here. Continue to take off more pieces of it. More pieces of their weapon that just gave Valkyrie tons of trouble in this one. Right over here, more pieces taken off. I think the wheel got removed right there, that left Valkyrie with drive on just one side. Then it wasn't long before K2 took off more pieces of Valkyrie's spinner. Then eventually got them into the corner, managed to get them stuck up against the rails, take off the remainder of that spinner, and Valkyrie was done from right there. Excellent win by K2. This bot moves on to the next round. We go to the Robot Wars class for our next battle, where we have the 21 seed Matilda and the 12 seed Noisy Cricket. On the left side, we got Matilda, who is surprisingly the underdog for being a house robot in this one. Matilda's got a flipper up front and a vertical spinner in the back side. That weaponry is very effective, including that lifter, which is pretty much all we've seen so far. It is very low to the ground and it's got some power to it. However though, their armor is relatively delicate, which could be something to watch in this one, as they're probably going to be looking to try to avoid taking hits from that hammer on Noisy Cricket as much as possible. On the other side, got the 12 seed Noisy Cricket and their hammer. This hammer is quite powerful, as it causes a huge amount of damage. But those two exposed wheels are something to watch in a matchup like this. Either way, this should be a good one. Let's check out some highlights as usual. First up, we had Matilda, who just owned the ground game in their previous round matchup against Bullfrog, and managed to keep flipping their opponent until Bullfrog ended up down the pit of oblivion, where Matilda won this battle by knockout. How well will they do against Noisy Cricket, the higher seed in this one, where they just battered Suitcase Nuke time after time again and won it in a judge's decision. Let's get to this matchup. Here we go, Noisy Cricket coming right out of the gate towards the floor flipper area. Don't want to be in that area, either of you, and big flip from the floor flipper. Matilda is flipped over. Noisy Cricket sees an opportunity here. Noisy Cricket hang back here and they can win by knockout, but no, they are hitting Matilda with that hammer right on the bottom. That ain't a good place. He's for Matilda. Matilda being counted out right now, but the countdown has now been turned off thanks to the pushing that Noisy Cricket was doing right there, and they are continuing to hit Matilda time after time again. An excellent start by Noisy Cricket here. Little less than a minute into this one, and there's a hit, and Matilda self-rights, and Matilda wants payback. They are coming right after Noisy Cricket with that lifter. They know they have a ground game advantage here. They are now using that to their advantage here. Continuing to flip Noisy Cricket around time and time again. But now Noisy Cricket back on their head. They got the break they needed. Running away from Matilda. Wouldn't expect that from the higher seed. And Matilda's flipped over again. The second time they went on the floor flipper like that. Now Noisy Cricket charging after Matilda again, battering them with that hammer. They want to put on a show for the audience. But oh no! A big piece of armor just came off of Matilda. Matilda is exposed on some major areas right now. This is not the way they want. Matilda's control board's in trouble. Matilda, they gotta get over and turn this around. This is not going so well for Matilda. And the control board falls and the house robot is done. Lot to process in this one as Noisy Cricket looks like they led Matilda towards the floor flipper there, which is smart because even if they got flipped over, they can self-right through the use of their primary weapon. Then they use that time to batter Matilda with their hammer here. Just no mercy being shown by Noisy Cricket. But then this was almost a mistake here. Matilda came in with that lifter, just continued to toss Noisy Cricket around like a rag doll for a little while. But then Noisy Cricket got the breathing room they needed. Not long after that, Matilda got flipped over from the floor flipper once again. Excellent use of the hazards from Noisy Cricket. Used that to their advantage. Then they just battered Matilda once again. One of these shots knocked off the biggest piece of armor on Matilda, leaving them defenseless on multiple areas of that bot. And then it wasn't long before Noisy Cricket took out Matilda's control board and officially claimed their spot in the next round. What a battle this was. We stay in the Robot Wars class for our next battle, where we have the 22 seed Bulldog Breed and the 11 seed TR2. First up, we have Flipperbot Bulldog Breed. That lifter has been a very effective weapon so far in the tournament, and we'll have to see how well it will do against another Flipperbot in TR2. Bulldog Breed's big problem is going to be those sides that their opponent will be trying to target in this one if they get an opportunity. TR2 is on the opposing side here, another Flipperbot. they also have a very powerful flipper, and they are also quite low to the ground, as is Bulldog Breed. Of course though, their sides are also going to be the place that their opponent will be wanting to target. This should be an excellent battle. We always love a good flipper battle. Well, I imagine this one is going to come down to who is the lower ground bot and who can outmaneuver the others. Who wants to find out who that is? I sure do. But let's now check out some highlights from both of these bots' last round matchup. First up, we have Bulldog Breed, who outflipped their last opponent, Lucifer, and managed to win that battle by a knockout in order to advance to the next round. They get another flipper bot for their next opponent in TR2. TR2, who managed to land flip after flip, just took it to Mantis and won that battle by a knockout to get to this round. Let's see how TR2 will do against another flipper bot. This should be good. Here we go, TR2 Bulldog Breed charging out of the gate, but Bulldog Breed won the ground game early here. And now TR2 temporarily at the mercy of Bulldog Breed, but now TR2 is free. Trying to get that flipper underneath, and they do, and they land a flip up there. But now both bots right side up, Bulldog Breed starting to land some more flips once again. TR2's got to be careful, they're trying to right themselves, but then most times they just went in a full 360-degree circle to a complete flip. But now Bulldog Breed landing flip after flip again. TR2 is having a lot of trouble here in this one. TR2 trying to get away, they successfully do, but Bulldog Breed's right behind them. Another flip by TR2, and another one! And giving Bulldog Breed some airtime. Minute into this battle, this one has been relatively even so far. More flips being landed by TR2. Could the tables be turning after Bulldog Breed was landing a ton of flips of their own? Another big flip by TR2. Bulldog Breed up against the rails. Could they be stuck? But no, TR2 helps them get free. Bulldog Breed trying to self-right here. They can do it through the use of their flipper, but they seem to be having trouble right now. But TR2 lands a flip, tosses them out of the arena, and TR2 advances. Another great battle here. TR2 struggled at first, but eventually got that flipper underneath Bulldog Breed, landing some big flips. Lots of major action. Then Bulldog Breed landed a ton of great flips of their own, was giving TR2 a lot of trouble. This was definitely TR2's toughest opponent so far in this competition. But then it sure did not last that way for long for Bulldog Breed, as TR2 eventually got the breathing room they needed and gained the upper hand in this one. Some big flips, giving Bulldog Breed some serious airtime in that one, sending them up in the air like crazy. But then it wasn't long before Bulldog Breed was in the position for TR2 to toss them clean out of the arena, like right on this scene where TR2 officially won this battle. We go to the Battlebots and Bugglebots class for our next battle, which features the 3-seed Bite Force and the 30-seed Sub-Zero. First up, we have the 3-seed Bite Force and their vertical spinner. That vertical spinner is a very powerful weapon, as we've seen it cause tremendous amounts of damage in their first two battles. However though, if they do happen to get flipped over, they are very much vulnerable there, and they could get stuck upside down if they make one false move. Their opponent is a flipper bot in Sub-Zero, the 30-seed. Even though this bot is the underdog, don't count out the Battlebots Armageddon champion. This flipper bot has a lot of power in that weapon. It's quite low to the ground, and it can give their opponent some airtime. However though, they do have those exposed wheels, and their armor is quite delicate, which could be a problem against a spinner bot like their opponent. This should be a great matchup. Great one, and great second to last matchup is probably on the way. But before we get to this one, as usual, let's check out some highlights from both of these spots' most recent matchup. First up, we have Bite Force, who just dominated their battle against Tuberg 2 Furious and just shot them around the arena like a ragdoll. Their opponent is Sub-Zero, who seemed virtually unaffected by the spinner of Bloodsport and just landed flip after flip and eventually tossed them out of the arena to win that battle. How will they stand up to Bite Force's vertical spinner? Let's find out. Here we go, Bite Force getting their weapon speed, Sub-Zero misflipping, Sub-Zero is getting hit by that vertical spinner. Not a good way to start this battle. Sub-Zero is now at the mercy of Bite Force. Landing hit after hit is Bite Force and their vertical spinner. Off comes a chunk of the flipper. Sub-Zero not in a good place to start this one. So they are at the mercy of Bite Force's spinner. More bits and pieces flying off of Sub-Zero. More shots, but Sub-Zero lands a flip! They still have enough of a flipper to get underneath Bite Force, but Bite Force rights themselves through the aid of Sub-Zero, and right now are looking to take off more chunks of Sub-Zero. That was a major scare for Bite Force right there. Landing a bunch more shots, trying to send them out of the arena, but Sub-Zero flips Bite Force again. Bite Force can drive upside down, but they are very vulnerable there as they don't have their ground game advantage. But now Sub-Zero flips Bite Force again! Bite Force, they gotta right themselves, but Sub-Zero doesn't allow them to because Bite Force is out of the arena. What an upset we have just witnessed. The 3 seed was at first just showing off the power of that vertical spinner, taking chunks off of Sub-Zero. But even with the damage they took, you never want to underestimate even a 30 seed here. That was Bite Force. Landed hit after hit with that spinner, but then right there was the beginning of the tables turning. Sub-Zero just landed a bunch of nice flips, had enough of their flipper to be able to still get underneath Bite Force. But then right here, Bite Force nearly got the victory by shooting Sub-Zero out of the arena thanks to that spinner, but then Sub-Zero turned the tables very quickly in that one. Then it was this area that closed out the battle. Sub-Zero flipped Bite Force one more time, and following this one, and knocked them clean out of the arena to win it in a little more than a minute. Sub-Zero advances, but next up, we got the 16 and the 17 seed. We have Huge and Lockjaw, which is actually a rematch from last season. First up, we have Huge and their vertical spinner. This is a very unusual design as they got 2 giant wheels over on the side and a very powerful vertical spinner, making it a very difficult bot to challenge. However though, those 2 big wheels are their big weakness here, as if a spinner bot pulls them off like their opponent, Huge could be in a lot of trouble. Their opponent is Lockjaw, a vertical spinner bot in the 17 seed. That weapon is very effective, and they got some low-to-the-ground forks along with it. However, though, they do have 4 exposed wheels of their own, which could be problematic in a battle like this. This should be one exciting main event, 2 powerful vertical spinners going at it here. Can Lockjaw get some revenge on Huge for what Huge was able to do to them last season when these 2 bots met in a rumble? Let's find out, but before we get to that matchup, let's check out some highlights from both these bots' most recent matchup, along with some highlights from their meeting last season. First up, we have Huge, who just dismantled Lucky bit by bit and just caused a major amount of damage, and their dominating victory over Lucky in the last round. Their opponent is Lockjaw, where we saw an excellent back and forth battle between Lockjaw and Catalyst, but it was Lockjaw who managed to get the kill shots and won that battle. Next up, we got from last season, where we saw Huge just dismantling Lockjaw piece by piece in this horrifying battle. but Sanawayachi came out on top in that rumble. Let's see, can Lockjaw get some payback here and take out the Huge? Here we go, Huge getting that weapon speed, some weapon-on-weapon action between those two. Not sure who's getting the better of it, but Lockjaw lands a hit, but oh no! Lockjaw's spinner came out! Lockjaw has lost their primary weapon for the rest of the battle, and not even 20 seconds into this battle. Lockjaw now forced to use those forks just to push around Huge, but Lockjaw loses a wheel. Another big shot that sends Huge flying. Lockjaw's in some serious trouble already in this one. Not the way they were starting. They are smoking quite badly right now. Another big hit that sends Huge flying too. This game does not obey the laws of physics, I swear. More big shots. Lockjaw being sent back right up against the rails here. What can Lockjaw do here? Another big hit that sends Lockjaw flying. Here comes Huge. Takes off another wheel. Lockjaw now has drive on just one side. I don't see any movement out of them. And Lockjaw's just in some serious trouble here. Huge. Lockjaw's showing some movement, showing drive on one side, meaning Huge has got to come in for more. Huge has that bar going, charging into Lockjaw, taking off another wheel. Lockjaw has one wheel left, but they are not moving right now. What domination by Huge here. Countdown on Lockjaw. Very little movement, but it is not enough to save them here, as Huge is going to win this main event by knockout. As they have. This was probably one of the more destructive main events here. Lockjaw just off to some really bad luck right from the start. We saw lots of weapon-on-weapon action from these two. That right there knocked out the weapon completely on Lockjaw, leaving them without a primary weapon for the rest of the battle, leaving them needing to push Huge around, but that sure did not work, because Huge got to those sides, knocked off a bunch of wheels with that vertical spinner, just sent Lockjaw flying multiple times. Lockjaw just did not stand a chance at this time. That was Huge. Came in there, managed to take off more tires on Lockjaw. That shot removed drive on one side for Lockjaw, and then right here knocked off the last wheel, which finished off Lockjaw, and Huge won it by a knockout. What a win by Huge. What a way to end the night. Episode 20 is now complete, and therefore this round of the tournament is now over. We ended this round with 10 great matchups, and 10 great bots have officially joined the other 30 from the last 3 episodes in the next round for their class. Stars of the night include a bunch of them. Ziggo and Tombstone, who are both wildcard recipients, have advanced to the next round, proving that you do not want to underestimate wildcards like themselves. Eruption, K2, Huge, and Minion all had dominating victories tonight, and last but not least, Sub-Zero, who pulled off a major upset, taking out one of the favorites to win a War Machines title. Did you think that round was fun? If you did, you will think that the next 20 fights we will see in the next round will be even more fun. We will see the first of 2 episodes next, and I will hopefully see you then.